You disappeared.
Okay, so Deputy Mayor, you get to call the meeting to order now.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order, January 28th, council meeting at 6 o'clock,
So,
6:01. All in favor? Carried.
okay.
Okay. Indigenous land acknowledgement, and the deputy, so I gotta read it. The Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the land on which we gather here today is the Treaty 9, 1905 to 1906 territory. The traditional lands of the Indigenous peoples. We work towards reconciliation. May all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples. Did we review and note any changes to the agenda tonight?
I can speak to that if you'd like.
Yes.
So there are a couple changes to the agenda. There's an addition of item 7.7 under action items. It is a request for an in-kind donation for the scheduled trade show for the Legion. This was my bad. I had it and just forgot to place it on there. Thought I hadn't. And then an addition of item number 11.1 under bylaws, bylaw number 218626, pothole prevention and repair program, Ontario transfer payment agreement. Manuela might want to speak to this one.
I can speak to it when we get to it.
Okay, perfect. It was just it came in, but it's time sensitive. And then renumbering of the confirmatory bylaw because we added a bylaw.
Okay, anybody, any other changes? All in favor? Carried.
So
Approval of agenda. Okay. Be it resolved that council does hereby approve the agenda as presented.
for a seconder.
Mover and a seconder, please. Linda and Peter.
Okay, and you've read it out, so
Okay, declaration of pecuniary interest and declaration of conflict of interest.
first you got to make sure it's all in favor for the motion.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah. All good.
All in favor?
There you go.
Just please do.
Sorry, guys. Okay, declaration of pecuniary interest and declaration of conflict of interest.
I've not received any.
None. I haven't received any, so I'll move on. Deputations, presentations and tender and open discussions. Our first one is a presentation, self-funded waste management project. Jeremy Beamer, principal of GTA Strategies, and Zulfiquar. Mooraj, president, H&amp Control. I hope I pronounced her name right.
So I don't actually see them in here yet.
No. We want to wait for them or move on?
Let me follow up with them because they have the link.
Okay.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I was just going to suggest we can carry on while Jen's looking and then come back to that item.
Yes, that's a good idea. We'll move on to number 7, the correspondence action items. 7.1 Northwatch, transportation of high-level radioactive waste on our highways.
Oh, they are joining now.
Oh, they're joining?
Yes.
Okay.
So do we want to pause this one and go back to the presentation?
Yeah, I think that'd be best is pause it and okay, are they logged in?
One.
Sorry about that. There seems to have been a problem with the link.
Can you reach over and move that chair for me?
Yeah.
Please? Yeah, thanks. Okay, our presentation tonight is called Self-Funded Waste Management Project. Jeremy Beamer is the principal of GTA Strategies, and Zulfiquar Mooraj, president, H&G Control. I hope I got your name right.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I think there was some confusion with the link. I managed to find the right one, but it seems that Jeremy still doesn't have the correct one. So
Oh.
I've just sent it to him.
Okay. We'll give him a second here to log in. We want to move on and
It should
until she
only be
gets
a minute.
or he gets logged in.
Oh, there we go.
So there
Good
we
evening,
go.
everyone. Apologies. My, I think the link that we were using wasn't as current, I guess, as we had hoped. Apologies again. I hope everyone's doing well this evening.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I don't want to waste any more time, so I'll just get straight into it. My name is Jeremy Beamer. I'm one of the principals with GTA Strategies. We're here on behalf of our client, Zulfiquar Mooraj, and his company, H&G Control, to discuss a new waste management system that we're hopefully going to use to revolutionize waste management across the province of Canada and even the world. Now, H&G Control is not initially in the waste management business. They're actually manufacturing electrical control panels. They have been for the last 60 years. Zulfiquar Mooraj himself has over 30 years of experience as an engineer. He's worked across North America as well as Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. And while he was in Europe, specifically in Germany, he made contacts and partners with a pair of other engineers in other fields of engineering. And they've been working on this new system to use pre-existing waste management technologies in a new and revolutionary way. Now, waste management as it stands in Ontario and really around the world is not looking good. In Ontario, the Auditor General a couple of years ago put out a report, and they estimate that within the next 7 to 10 years, all of our landfills are going to be at capacity. We are currently not able to build any more landfills. The Minister of the Environment has put a block on that, but we're still making garbage regardless, somewhere to the tune of about 12 million tons a year in Ontario alone. We are constantly in a state of sending it other places, trying desperately to find somewhere else to take it, whether it's be the US, countries out in the Southeast Asia and into the Pacific. And we're just looking for other options, anything else that might be out there in order to deal with this waste. And hopefully the new process, DPRE process, is going to be that method. Now, unfortunately, I can't tell you what DPRE stands for. It's a very long German acronym, and my German's not that good. But I have a flowchart here that I hope will shed a little bit of light on this. Now, the first thing that I want to touch on is that this is not for pre-sorted waste. In a lot of municipalities, we've gotten to the point where recycling goes to one place, organic waste goes somewhere else. This is not the case with this. This is everything all at once. So we're already eliminating the need for any kind of sorting stations. Now, once the waste comes in, the first thing that's done is any kind of moisture, any water or other fluids that build up are extracted and filtered. Anything else goes into what's called a ball sorter. And the ball sorter basically breaks all this waste down into its kind of base components and separates it for any kind of further use. It's going to take out anything that could be recycled or resold, metal, glass, stone, any kind of organic materials that could be used for compost or biofuel. Those can all be sold off and can actually start generating a little bit of revenue by selling these to other users rather than just dumping them in the landfill. Now, anything that doesn't meet that kind of need and goes into the next process, something's called waste-derived fuels or refuse-derived fuels, go through a new system called pyrolysis. Now, pyrolysis is a way of thermal decomposition rather than traditional incineration. It's done in a vacuum. It's done in an oxygen-free environment at a very high temperature. So it burns everything off to basically there's two byproducts of this, coke and gas. Now, coke is, again, something that can actually be reused. It's used as a fuel and heat source for a number of different processes. Steel and copper manufacturing, a number of places around the world still use coke. So that's something else that can be sold off and reused somewhere else. And then there's the gas that's created. Now, rather than just sending this gas off into the atmosphere, the gas is funneled into a generator, which will create electricity. Now, under kind of normal operating capacities, about 20% of the electricity this generator creates would be enough to power the facility. So this system could actually be self-sustaining and not draw anything from the local power grid. The other 80% that's left over could actually be sold back into the grid. So this system, once it's up and running, can actually start powering local homes, businesses, schools, everything else in the surrounding area. So we're looking at a site that's eliminating waste. It's going to create jobs in the area, not only for trucking as well as the facility. It's lowering energy costs by actually creating its own power. It's reducing greenhouse gases by not simply incinerating garbage. It's actually processing it in a sealed, in a contained manner. And one of the things that we really want to kind of touch on with this is that over time, these facilities have the ability to actually take waste in current landfills and process it down to the point where we would actually be able to reclaim landfill land. We would actually be able to use this for something different other than just sticking all of our garbage into the ground and waiting for another generation to deal with it. Now, as I mentioned a little earlier, this is using pre-existing technology. All of these systems on their own are being used around the world. Pyrolysis, for example, is being used in a number of different facilities. There's tire manufacturing companies that use this to break down old tires. We've heard talk, there's actually a handful of aircraft carriers the U.S. military has. They use pyrolysis to get rid of their garbage rather than just dumping it over the side into the ocean. But this would be the first location, the first site of its kind anywhere in the world that's using all of these technologies in tandem. So because of that, obviously there's going to be a lot of research that's going to have to go into making sure that there's no kind of environmental or ecological dangers or anything like that. So we have currently been in touch with the Premier's office as well as the Minister of the Environment. Both of them are very keen on having this technology moving forward. They're very interested in this process. And we've already started the kind of screening and pre-submission process with the minister's office in order to determine what kind of testing needs to be done to get this up and running. But in the meantime, what we've been doing is reaching out to municipalities across Ontario, just like yours, basically just to introduce the technology, to say this is something that is going to be hopefully coming down the pipe in the next year or two. Are you interested? Whether it be something that you use yourself or just in the local area. Because what we're looking at with this is what's called a BOOT system, build, own, operate, transfer. There's no upfront money needed from municipalities. They used to say in the infomercials, no money down, no purchase necessary. All we're looking for is a plot of land. The site will be constructed and operated through investor funds, as well as government grants and funding that way. Once the system is up and running, and basically once it starts turning a profit, everybody's kind of gotten theirs back and it's ready to operate on its own. We can hand the keys over to the municipality. We could say you can run it yourselves, another company continuing to run it, H&G, or their side, they can continue to run it for the municipality or have another company do it. And that's really something that we can kind of explore a little further down the line. But in the meantime, as I said, we're just looking at initial introductions right now. And I want to thank municipality. I want to thank your worship again for taking the time out to meet with us again, especially on the evening. I hope the weather is more favorable up there. It's been quite chilly down in Toronto, so I can only imagine where it got, the kind of temperatures it got to where you folks are. But I want to thank you again. I'm going to turn it over for just a moment to my partner Jim Karagianis. And then if anyone has any questions, we'd love to answer them for you.
Your worship, council members, good evening. If you guys want any snow, we'll send you some. We'll pack it up and send it. I was just watching on the news how we're melting it down there, so we'll truck load it up there. I want to thank Zulfiquar and yourselves for giving us the opportunity to speak to you, and Jeremy. Thanks again for making such a wonderful presentation. Your worship, we have talked with you before. Right now, just wanted to, I know Jeremy mentioned it, but next week we're having a meeting with officials at the minister's office. These are not people that are, these are not ministerial officials like political, but these are in the ministry, and then we're looking to present to them what this is and hopefully get their thumbs up in order to proceed ahead. One of the things that I will put on the table, and maybe something for consideration, we are very keen to work with you guys. We know where you are. We did a little bit of investigation. We noticed that you're in the ring of fire and everything else. And, you know, partnering up with you not only is going to help the municipality, but it will help us and create jobs, but it will help us with the ring of fire process. It will help us with actually getting extra funding in order to do this, because Toronto, if Toronto was going to apply, they will say, you know what, I'm not going to give any money to Toronto, big city, whatever else they got. But creating jobs up in the north is very important to us. So I would say to you, one of the things that we're asking for, and we can certainly send you a draft proposal, is if you guys find it in your hearts to say, look, we're interested in doing this, and we want your, and you know, we want to support this, we'll certainly play a big role with us, with the minister's office and his officials. So that's what I want to leave with you. I don't know if Jeremy, if there's anything else I haven't covered, but your worship, number one, thank you, and council members, and you know what, keep your snow. We love you guys to keep your snow. Thank you.
I do have one question.
Absolutely.
My one question is, have you guys been in contact with Hydro One and all this?
We've not started to reach out to those organizations. It's still very early on in the process. Like I said, we're still lined up for the pre-submission review with the minister's office, and they're going to be kind of the first ones to go through this and determine what kind of impact this technology is going to have. So essentially, we're at a point where if they say no, there's really no sense in going any further. As we start to kind of move on in that process, we'll be reaching out to companies like Hydro One, any other organizations that are going to have to play a part in this. But that's still that's a tomorrow call.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Pete?
Yep.
Through you, Deputy Mayor. Being a small community, I love the idea. I just love it. And to reiterate what Council Kissemaker just said, that's a big hurdle, is getting one into the grid and putting the power back in. But I think before that, we go even past there. How much garbage do we need to provide, and what kind of power output are we looking at, say, for a community the size of 1,000 people or 950, whatever we are? Would we provide enough garbage, or would it have to be trucked in to make it a viable operation?
Under kind of normal circumstances, obviously something like this can always be scaled up depending on the kind of demand that there is, but it can really only be scaled down so much and still be running efficiently. Right now, we're looking at approximately 10 tons of waste an hour at kind of a minimum to keep a facility like this running. Now, obviously, a lot of smaller towns are not going to have that kind of garbage. one of the things that we've been talking about, in addition to the fact that you guys are already on kind of a pretty major rail corridor and would be able to be bringing in waste from a lot of different places, and I'm sure you could generate quite a bit of revenue by telling local areas or even areas not so local, send your garbage to us, we'll take care of it. But what we've also done is talk to a number of different municipalities or regions, like Niagara region and different areas where there's multiple municipalities that are all kind of amalgamated together so that we can find kind of one central location and all those municipalities can kind of pool their resources and bring everything in. Jim, was there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, just a quick thing. Is being on the rail, it's going to be cheaper to truck garbage from major centers to there versus trucking it. Like, I mean, Toronto trucks their garbage. Used to truck it into Detroit. Now they're sending it to London. That facility is going to close pretty soon, and they're going to have to look at alternatives. By the time this thing is up and running, like if it's going to take a year by the time we go through the process of the ministry, probably a year and a half to 2 years to set it up. We're looking into 2.5 to 3 years down the line. Municipalities are going to be running in order to make sure that, once that, we got a central point that they want to bring their garbage to that place. And you being on the rail corridor, number one, it's going to be fantastic. Number two, it's going to create jobs in the community. Number three, one of the things that I want you to keep at the back of your mind is that once this is up and running, like, in 5 or 6 years from now, we will need a place where we will be assembling this kind of technology and machinery in order to export not only to the rest of parts of Canada, but internationally. The world patents are being held on this process. So not only are you going to get one facility to look after the garbage, but you're also going to create another factory in order that will be putting these things together. That's down the line, but there's another 50 to 100 jobs that will be created then. So in 2030, 2031, 32, you could be looking at two plants, one to look after the garbage and one to put the process together, the machines together.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions from council at this time?
More comment.
Your worship, I think you would
Oh, that's all right. We'll let Councillor Kistemaker go first, and then I'll follow up.
It was just a comment, basically, is like we have a cogen in town right now, and the only difference between what you're proposing and what we've already had is instead of steam, we're producing gas to make electricity, and instead of wood waste products, we're using garbage, which I think is even better. So I think this is a great idea if you could somehow make everybody come together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think my what I wanted to follow up with what I thought was so intriguing about the project was that this isn't just current waste, that we can take care of the waste that's already in the ground, that's decomposing in that space. And I think that's revolutionary. That's going to help the climate change, the environment, and moving forward. So when we talk about the amount of waste that needs every day, we really could clean up Ontario quite quickly, which is amazing.
Yes, you can.
So I just want to highlight that.
Thank you. I just had a couple questions. How much land are you looking for? Like, what size of a footprint of land do you need? 3 acres?
3 to 4
3
acres.
to 4 acres?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and I did have a second question, but probably it's gone now. How many jobs would this create?
It'd be anywhere between 50 to 70 jobs immediately.
Just related to the facility alone?
In order to run it.
And then
Now,
obviously there would be other jobs that would come from the influx of people to.
Well, not only that, but I mean, once the facility is up and running and everybody starts getting jealous of it, then what's going to happen is that people would want to come up there and say, "Can we me too?" And then we're going to have to open another facility in order to put these things together. So you could be looking at another 50 to 70 jobs, people working in order to assemble this kind of technology in order to export to other
And
parts
what
of
type
Canada.
of a facility would you need to assemble these?
Probably about 3 or 4 acres again. But at that point in time, if the municipality, if we got the build, own, operate, transfer, in that point in time, the municipality plus us can come into a joint venture in order to create that facility.
4 acres for the second.
Yes,
Okay.
but again, you're looking here, like, I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
down
Yeah, I understand. I just, my mind
It's-
was going elsewhere.
the line. Manuel, it's not like you guys are short of land.
No, no.
And because, I mean, one of the things that I really want to touch on is the fact that, as I said, this is pre-existing technology. This would be the first of its kind that uses all of these systems together, but these are all things that exist. But being able to put all these together and what this is capable of doing, this is something that could really be a game changer. This will create buzz. Zulfiquar and his organization, they're putting in patents. This is something that has the potential to be worldwide. And the first municipality, the first area that puts this out, it's going to be a big deal because you're going to have people coming from around the world to see it.
I have a couple other questions.
Sure.
How soon are you looking for a commitment from the municipality or from a municipality?
We can send you a draft proposal. I mean, a draft tonight, and you guys can change it around and all that stuff. And you know, we will. We can have it yesterday. We can have it tomorrow. We can have it in a week. I mean,
And could we schedule a public information session? Because I think it, with something scaled as large as this, if our
Sure.
council is interested
Yep.
in moving forward with it, it would only be fair to have a public information
absolutely.
session
In person
you know,
or in a virtual meeting.
for
Yep.
for the people of the town.
In virtual or in person.
Okay.
Sorry.
And-
Do you have a preference? That's a question.
Manuela, question is
Oh.
in person or virtual? How would you
I
want to
think
handle
in
it?
person is great because then you can see what we have to offer you. I think it's important that you see the land, what it looks
Hey,
like, what the obstacles
Zulfiqar,
might be. I
we're-
want to
we're-
show you our mall that we want to
we're
do
getting on the
something
train.
with. Yeah.
Most definitely. Now, you will need some time in order to do a mailing, right, for this?
Not a lot. I think what we need is a commitment from council, making sure that council wants to move forward with this. And then we
Sure,
could
sure.
schedule
Yep.
a public,
You know
a
what,
public
like, I mean,
information
we can
session.
even help with the mailing. We can, you know, we can pay for it if you guys want to do it. We can send it from here, whatever you guys want. We can help with that.
So I'm just gonna bounce it back to mayor and council then. Now, at this point, I just wanted to make sure that those questions were on the table and being discussed tonight.
Zulfiqar's got his hand up and the poor guy's waiting. Maybe we can turn it over to him and maybe we could.
Thank you, Jim. That's where I was going to.
Councillor Stefanik has another question.
Sure.
Thank you for the presentation. I think it's worthwhile to have further discussions. But as Jeremy said, you have many moving parts. You need a lot of approvals from the province of Ontario, various ministries. I respect that. I think it's early in the game, obviously. I think it's council as a whole, if they wish so to show the input that we're interested in. But I mean, you still have a lot of approvals to have. I mean, it's not, as you said yourself, the ministries don't move that quickly. You'll find that out as you get to meet them, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But I think if council has the intent to do it, I think it's something worthwhile to proceed with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Fort, my apologies. Did I skip over you? Did you have something to say?
No, we have a hand up for quite some time now, and I wanted to give the floor over. I was agreeing with Jim. So
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity, and it's been a pleasure to wait here, and because you guys have really just stolen my thunder. Jim went on a railroad journey here, so
We're
they
excited,
actually-
Zulfiqar. We love it. We
You
want to be a
don't
part
know
of it.
how happy that makes me. My desire to solve this problem started when I finished college. This goes back many moons. Well, it's been a couple of years since we've been working on this, and so I'm really excited to actually see it come to fruition. A couple of things that I wanted to add over here, this is the conversation with my younger son, Jim. You know him well.
Yes.
You know the direction in which this young kid is thinking.
Environment.
The environment and the people and the land, and that's what he's all about. But the conversation that I had was, the way that I see a country develop is to move away from the centers, not to hold everything in the center. So I totally am for supporting the faraway regions to develop, and the more we develop, the better it is for the whole. It's a mistake to think that countries can develop by staying centric. So that's one thing. So I really appreciate the fact that you guys, being far away from a large center, want to take this on. There are some challenges in this, and I just wanted to point those out to you. One of them will be getting all the garbage in over there, which means that yes, 3 to 4 acres, if we have to store simply because in order to make the whole process more efficient, that requirement might go up a little bit. That's one thing. And the other challenge that we might be faced with is skilled people. It's not always easy to find skilled workforce far away from centers. So that's an area where I will need a lot of help from you all locally. Um, if it helps, I'm more than happy to come out there even before the public session and just spend some time, Your Worship, in particular with you, but also with anybody else, just trying to figure out what is the best scoping for this project. There's more that we can bring to the table. HNG is partnered with Schneider Electric, and they're a large enough company to be able to provide a lot of solutions. So things like smart city solutions, things that in the long term will help when growth comes. And I say when it comes, not if it comes. So thank you once again.
Okay, well, thank you guys very much. Are there any other questions?
Just one more comment.
Oh,
We
go
met,
ahead.
we met with the Premier August 11th. We met with the Minister beginning of December. Folks, this thing is on steroids. This is how much and fast the political world wants to move on this. I'll just leave it at that.
Councillor Kissmaker, you had one more question?
One final question before you leave. I really love this idea. I love the journey that you're about to embark on. The logistics of it, I think, are very feasible. I truly believe, only hearing locally through friends that and people I know were involved in Ontario Hydro and like Ontario OPG. The biggest hurdle they had, which is very similar to what you're talking about, the operation, just different, biggest hurdle was dealing with getting the power on the grid. Have you, because it's very political, do you have anybody on your team that went through this process before, or are you going to have consultants kind of helping you along? Because I would really, really like to see this work.
May I? Look, I am politically connected. I had a conversation with Minister Lecce just recently, and last week when we met with David Smith, which is his parliamentary secretary, this was raised, and we will be inclined to have a meeting very soon as we clear the hurdles with the and we present to the Minister of the Environment. So, lobbying is who you know and what you know and what you bring to the table. So, let me put it this way: when he was running for the nomination, I was there helping him, Lecce. So we are working with him, and hopefully we'll get something very soon about putting this power on the grid. But again, before we even go there, we got to make sure that this is something that the Minister of the Environment approves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could just follow up, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah, so any documents in the background that the initial draft proposal if that could come to council, we can have that looked at. That'll inform us on to what the information we should have available in advance of a visit. We wouldn't want you to come up and waste any of your time. All of our time is very valuable. And I think that would inform the visit as well. I appreciate the fact that you're all willing to come to Hornepayne. And I really enjoyed the comments that, you know, we can't just all grow in centric locations, especially in a country as vast as Canada, that we do have to be strategic about how we grow. And we know that there's growth coming to the Northern Ontario, and I would love to see Hornepayne play a big part in that, especially with a project like this where it's environmentally friendly and it takes care of a very challenging concern that we have across the world right now. And I would love to see us be able to pilot something like that. So I wanted to end with those comments. And I, just so you know, I'm traveling and could not make it home to Hornepayne today. That's hence why I'm online as well. And our Deputy Mayor, John Peroff, who, thank you so much, John, for chairing the meeting, is the logistics behind the scenes of what's going on here today. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming, and just close out with those comments. And Manuela can gather
Follow up.
any documents that you have, and we can have a further follow-up at council as well.
Your worship, councillors, we thank you. We wish you a good evening, and please don't send any more cold or snow our way. Please don't.
We won't charge you, it's okay.
Thank you, folks. Thank you and good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for your
Thank
time.
you.
Bye-bye.
Have a
Good night.
wonderful
Thank you.
week.
Good night.
Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay,
That was very interesting.
it was a very interesting presentation, was it? So we'll end it with resolution. Be it resolved that council receives the DPRE process presentation from GTA Strategies and H&G Control as information. All in favor? Hmm?
You need a mover and seconder first.
Oh, can I have a mover and seconder, please? Peter and Linda?
Now you can do all of it.
Forgive me, guys, this is
Miss-
my first time at this.
You're doing great.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair,
yep.
before you read it all out again, can I make a friendly amendment that we do receive the presentation, but we also allow staff, as per the discussion, to follow up?
Oh, sorry.
In addition to the motion?
Okay,
Jen can assist you, John. Sorry
I
about
see
that.
that. I was looking at her, she's writing notes though.
Sorry, I was writing the addition to the, how does this sound? Council can let me know. Be it resolved that council receives the DPRE process presentation from GTA Strategies and H&G Controls information and directs staff to follow up as discussed.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. After that, our next topic, number 7, is correspondence action items. 7.1 is transportation of high-level radioactive waste on our highways. Did everybody have a chance to review the notes? Any questions, concerns? Okay,
I think we should keep following this because
yes, we should follow it. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Drago?
can't get into my iPad, but I read all the notes and analyzed it. Regarding that one, what really struck me, what according to the letter and the information, I didn't confirm it because I don't have in front of me the data that the writer, the author of the letter, she's saying there'll be once this is in effect, transporting this high nuclear waste, 2 to 3 trucks per day for 50 years. Now, I'm sure everybody is looking at our roads right now. In last month, there was approximately 27 accidents. Highway 17 was closed 9.5 times since December 24th. I have a concern about the safety. I have a concern about the maintenance of the roads. I have a concern of not well-trained truck drivers. I think this has to be looked at very carefully. Nothing to do with the project. I'm not against it. That's their choice. My concern, when I travel on this 11 and 17, I like to be safe, unlike we are now. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
I'm
Any other
with
questions?
Drago on this one.
Okay,
I'm with Council Stefanik as well. We're not, our highways, the maintenance and the quality of, drivers are not up to the standards required to move high level highways, dangerous goods.
okay, thank you. If we can move
Mr.
on to
Chair?
7. Sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I just want to wonder, I just have a question for the staff through you. If we have looked into these processes where we can provide comment, are those to their organization? It's showing a government site because we have until February 4th to provide comment for the initial project description. And I agree with all of council's comments of our road, like we're having concerns with our roadways, that if anything of this type is to be transported, there has to be significant upgrades so that we can ensure safety of the Northern Ontario residents, including Hornepayers who travel quite often.
I agree, thank you. There you go,
I have
yeah.
a supplementary. Also, if you read that carefully, the letter that was sent, she also states that the impacts assessment study, the NWO is excluded from the study. I have a problem with that. There will be no impact study on the travel assessment. Originally, 30 years ago when this started, they made a commitment, NWO, that they will do that. I look back at the history. Now they're excluded. That's another problem I have with that.
Very good. Councilor Vistamaker?
Just a comment or maybe a question. Was it not originally supposed to be by train? Because that was supposed to be the safest way?
They did talk about two.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, no other comments? We can move on to number 7.2. Oh, sorry, Manuel.
There is a section in the letter where it allows for an email to be sent to the impact assessment agency, and I can do that on behalf of mayor and council if that's what mayor and council wishes. Or you can individually do it. So if you want to give me direction, I can either do it based on the comments received tonight or leave it for you to do individually.
Okay, thank you. Can you add it to the final thing or?
Yes, I just, does council wish for one group comment to be submitted?
Yes.
I think
One-
council does.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and
so-
Mr. Chair, if I may, can we include our resolutions that we've supported for the Neoma's Highway 11 and 17 project? Are the concerns of the municipalities that we've helped, and I know Phenom and NOMA both have current standing resolutions about the impacts of collisions and what's happening on our highways currently.
Yes.
And it may strengthen our response. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for your comments. Anything
Thank you.
further to add on that?
I'm just writing a motion, so give me.
Okay. Can we move on or, let's finish?
It'll be. If you'd like to get a mover and a seconder.
Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Drago, second by Linda.
Okay, this is what I have drafted, so if anyone wants any changes, let me know. Be it resolved that council directs the CAO to submit comments on their behalf for the Deep Geological Repository DGR for Canada's used nuclear fuel project per council discussion.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, now we can move on to 7.2, right?
Yes, sorry.
Number 7.2, Hornepayne Snowbears Snowmobile Club request for financial assistance. So we read the documents. Are there any questions or comments or discussion over that? Oh, sorry, Mayor Ford, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just, we have several donation requests on the docket tonight. And I know that we had discussions in the fall about organizing our donations, making sure that we have the money to donate and that we establish a timeline of donations. I'm sure some of these are timely. I do have that consideration for the organizations, but we do have our budget talks coming up in the next 4 weeks, and we'll be better informed about making donation requests after that time. And I'm wondering if we can defer the items until we have our budget. And I defer to staff as well. These are just my thoughts of reading the agenda. And so I defer to staff on their suggestion in this too as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for comments. Drago?
I concur with the mayor on the same page as she is. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I agree with the mayor too on her comments. I think we should defer it. Do we need a
Yeah,
resolution?
I just wanted to see, does the CAO have any issue with that? I don't
Oh,
have any
sorry.
issue.
No, I prefer it. I'm sure the CFO would as well.
I agree.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Please go ahead.
my suggestion would be is that we defer all 3 donation items in one motion, and then it's just a cleaner item, and then it's all deferred. It would be easier, I think, on staff and us.
That's a good idea. I agree. It will give Jennifer a minute to
I think I'm good. Let me just confirm. Yes. Okay, if you'd like to get a mover and second.
okay, can I get a mover and a seconder for this? Moved by Peter, second by Linda.
Okay. Be it resolved that council defers items number 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4 until after the 2026 municipal budget is passed.
All in favor? Right, carried.
Beautiful.
Our next item on the agenda is 7.3.
I think we
Frank's-
just go to 7.5 because we deferred the.
Oh, yes, okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
7.5 is a loan to Hornepayne Housing Corporation.
So if I remember correctly, we spoke about this at the last meeting. This is the resolution to actually go ahead and move forward with this. This would become a budget item as well, but I'm requesting that council move forward with it this evening. It's a revenue item. It's not an expense item, so it's actually going to generate a small amount of revenue for us. Based on the timing of the sale of this home, that's going to determine the amount of revenue, because the revenue really is coming to us in the form of interest and some collection of outstanding property taxes. So there's just over 14,000 in property taxes and interest up to just over 2,000 annually, but I don't expect it will take that long to renovate and sell this home.
Okay, thank you. So we can move on and read the resolution. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Drago, second by Peter.
Do you want me to read it or do you want?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read
No
it.
worries. Be it resolved, the council does hereby authorize an internal loan of approximately $64,000 to the Hornepayne Housing Corporation, HHC, a municipal services corporation wholly owned by the township for the renovation and resale of a dwelling to support housing outcomes in Hornepayne. Set the interest rate at 4.5% per annum, simple, non-compounding, with no interim principal or interest payments. The outstanding principal and accrued interest shall be due on the earlier of 1, the closing date of the sale of the renovated home, or 2, 60 months from the advance date. The loan may be repaid in full at any time without penalty, with interest prorated to the date funds are received by the township. Approve the source of the township's working capital reserve as the funding, or the use of the township's working capital reserve as the funding source. Approve the bylaw attached as attachment A to CAO report number 2026-02 under section 107 of the Municipal Act 2001, authorizing the loan and approving the form of promissory note, Schedule B, to be brought to the next council meeting to be passed, and authorize the mayor and CAO deputy clerk to execute all required documents, and direct the HHC to provide a copy of the property sale closing statement upon repayment and to provide annual financial statements to the township for the term of the loan.
All in favor? Carried. If we can move on to 7.6. Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, or NOMA, concerns regarding proposed consolidation of regional conservation authorities. Did everybody have a chance to read the notes? Have any questions, comments, or concerns? Go ahead, Drago.
Yeah, I read some background data from the ministry, and they want to reduce from 36 conservation authorities to 7. I know for a fact City of Timmins and Mayor Below met with the ministry of Roma, and they were really opposed to that situation because especially Timmins is a large area that is. So I agree 100% with this motion.
Thank you.
I personally find it kind of scary.
Can I speak quicker? Oh, Mayor
Yes.
Forthouse.
Oh, sorry, Mayor Ford.
That's okay. I know what it's like to miss the screen, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I'm in support of this. I don't think that it's reasonable to go to that few. And the reason being, and I think that I'm not sure if there's a way that we can friendly amend the support motion, is that there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the north, and we need to create trust with Northern Ontarians to ensure that we're opening up that economic development. And that's my concern about this, is when you're minimizing the authorities that protect at a time when you want economic development. So that was my concerns about it. And I was wondering in our motion if there's a way to highlight that as factor to urge the government not to move in this route, maybe not so drastically. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, thank you. Are you able to work that up? Thank you.
Yes, this may take a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's way too, not enough, reserves. Seven of them?
36 to 7.
Yeah,
Doesn't even make sense.
no.
Wow. Sorry, Mayor Fort, how did you phrase that again?
That we don't want to minimize the amount of regulatory authorities, especially concerning environment and conservation, at a time when we want to develop economically in Northern Ontario. It could possibly erode trust. We could even use stronger language than that because I truly believe it erodes trust. It's, you know, we can't break down all the barriers that protect us while opening the floodgates to economic development. And not that I don't want the floodgates to be open, but they have to be managed so that things are protected, and especially our lifestyle. We choose to live here for a reason.
Anybody else want to speak to that while we wait?
If I could add, Mr. Chair, as well, I just thought of something. We have within our official plan that maybe we refer to that northern communities have now started adopting environmental concerns and objectives within their official plan, and we want to ensure that we're meeting those standards across to show that we have some sort of documentation in the background to just to assist Jennifer. And I don't think there's any, is there a timeline on this? I refer to Mr. Chair through you to Jen or Manuela. We can always defer it and they can bring it back with our wording at our next meeting if there's time.
Let me confirm, I think, there probably is time, but I just want to ensure.
And I didn't notice one,
I
but
didn't notice, no. There isn't anything.
yeah.
I believe we can bring it back to the next meeting with better wording.
I believe so. I'm just pulling up the ERO posting to make sure that its closing date isn't.
Okay. I'd like to defer it myself personally, but let's see what everybody says.
It may, Mr. Chair, it may be already closed. I'm not sure because the letter is dated December 5th. So we may have to deal with it this evening.
Oh,
Because it's
right.
usually a 60 or 90-day window. And we're probably into the 60 or coming to the 60th day.
That's why I wanted to check.
Okay.
But if we
apologize.
are beyond the date, we should then defer it and still send it in.
Sorry, 1 minute. I'm having a hard time finding it, so I guess the best bet would be to defer and then. Oh, wait.
You almost have it, or?
I'm not sure. This is a very confusing registry.
Comments they closed it.
Hmm?
Comments closed. I did find that.
No.
Okay. So it was, for 45 days, it is closed. So we can defer this and then send a full letter.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So we'll defer it to future meeting,
Yep, I'll just, hold on.
write the resolution for that. While the clerk writes it up, do we have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Peter, a second by Linda.
Okay. Be it resolved that council defers item number 7.6 to the next available meeting.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, we added section number 7.7, Royal Canadian Legion Branch 194 request for in-kind donation for the trade show.
Can I speak to this?
Yes, please, Jennifer.
Okay, so this request was, received. The Legion is looking to have a trade show in September. They would like to use the curling ice surface, the, arena ice surface, the canteen, and tables and chairs free of charge. The reason there was not a motion on the floor when this was added, is because I was waiting to hear back from, the lead hand to ensure that the ice there wouldn't be an issue with that. There is no issue. They start the ice at the beginning of October. And I do want to specify, we had discussed the ice being put in earlier. I had advised Hornepayne Minor Hockey of that and told them to reach out if that was something that they were interested in. They have not reached out to me. So on that basis, there's no plans for the ice to be going in any earlier at this moment. So if council wishes to move forward, I have something ready. And Mayor Ford has her hand up.
No, sorry, Mayor Ford, did you have a question?
Yes, Mr. Off, are we not going to be possible under construction in December?
That
I
was
would
my
be
question.
concerned. Oh, I'd be concerned about putting, giving people hopes that they'd be able to use the facility, and it's an unsafe environment at that time.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
I
Yes,
can-
I agree.
Speak to that.
Go.
I did mention that to the lead hand. I actually didn't speak to Dwayne on this, so I apologize. I did discuss that with Jay, and he said that logistically, it wouldn't impact that area. It shouldn't impact that area of the arena. At that time, I don't know, and that they could use the big doors on the side.
Well, I could
Okay.
speak to that further.
Yeah,
So,
please.
yeah.
No.
Dwayne and I had a meeting earlier this week with the engineers. The canteen is also going to be under construction and may be taken apart at that time, so we don't know if the canteen will even be available. Although we did want to have some assurances that summer programming could run, really it's going to come down to what type of construction is happening at that time and the safety of the public. So we have to, I think it's early to make that kind of a commitment.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
The access to the club ice surface will be affected for sure if they're doing the canteen.
Okay. Councillor Schwarzenegger?
Also, wouldn't the parking be affected as well, Dwayne?
That's partially.
I mean, as long as they have all the facts before they go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, through you, Deputy Mayor, to Manuela. Do they have a timeline of construction dates? What they're going to proceed, when and how?
Yes, the RFP is going out in February. I don't have the dates right in front of me, but we did have this meeting a couple
Perfect,
days
fine,
ago.
okay.
We're expecting the RFP to be back and closed by the end of March, and a company hired probably in April.
And to begin when?
End of May, beginning of June, once the frost is out of the ground and they can start digging and pouring concrete.
Thank you.
Mayor Ford has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Mayor Ford, did you have a question?
Yes, I was wondering if at this time, I would love to see this event carry on. I'm not trying to minimize or not have the event occur, but if we can have the staff communicate with them of the reasons why we can't make a commitment at this time, that maybe another location should be looked at in the interim, and that we may be better informed come June whether the space will be available. Because I would be very concerned about having inviting people in to host an event that we're going to have possibly, you know, scaffolding or things that they have to walk under or around to get into the facility, because the main entrance of the facility more than likely will be compromised at some point, and I wouldn't want to have the event hinder timelines of construction. So we have to be careful how much we commit to during this time. I would just suggest, like, so that the event could carry on. It's not that you can't have the event, but maybe one of the schools or another facility would be able to host for this year.
Okay, thank you. There you go, yeah.
Just a
I
supplementary.
think we also have some very large tents, and I don't know if that might help them out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, supplementary to you, Deputy Mayor. Yeah, it's going to be problematic. It's unfortunate because we didn't have a trade show now for many years, and it became a real positive thing for our community. And the other issue, the parking. That parking, I organized quite a few trade shows over the many years, and that parking was packed on the sides and the back, so it would be problematic. There's no question. I think the liability will be on the township. It's unfortunate, the timing of it. But yeah, if they were looking at some other venues, if you could assist them somehow and see what happens. Thank you.
Go ahead.
One more follow, Mr. Chair. I was just thinking too, come September, we are going to have a very limited staff, in the sense that there's going to be an active election going on. There's going to be a lot more interaction with the public during that time. The Public Works is going to be heavily involved with construction process, like ensuring that's in place. Like, I don't mean they're not constructing, but ensuring like any support systems there. And I just think logistically we might be adding too much to everyone's plate as well. And I think although I want this to happen, I don't want this to be hindered, because that's the whole point of renovating the arena and putting the ball field up there, is getting it to be a 365-day facility. But I don't necessarily think that should be taking place while we're under construction. So I just want to reiterate to those members of the community that are watching too, that this is exactly where we want to go. We see your enthusiasm, but at the same time, we can't overwhelm our the staff and the systems in place while we're under construction. And just to put it out there, that our levy is around 2 million, and the construction project we last year was over double the amount of our levy. This one is the same. Like, these are high intense projects that we want to ensure that people have the capacity to be able to manage for us as well, without adding further complications.
Thank you, Mayor. That's a great point. Do we just want to hold off on this till after we
Yes,
till
that's-
next couple months? Go ahead, Linda.
I think my main thing is going forward, as soon as we know what the scheduling and all that is, or even remind people that we are gonna be having construction, that we get that information out so people can start planning maybe their way of doing things around this, so we don't run into these problems.
Thank you, yes. Okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns at this time? You want to make a resolution, or?
I think staff has direction just to move forward and advise, and yeah, we're all good there.
Okay. Very good, thank you. So we're gonna wait till further notice on this one, right? Okay, thanks. If we can move on to section 8, correspondence information only. Did everybody have a chance to review the documents? Grego, you had a comment?
Yeah, I do. 8.2, can I have a hard copy of work plan CEO, CFO, clerk, and PWM, please, when you have opportunity? Thank you.
Okay, did you guys get that? Any other questions or comments? Okay. So we'll proceed. Can I have a mover? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. I thought.
Can I have a mover and a seconder to approve this? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. Do you want to read
I
out
can do
the
it, sure.
resolution, please?
Be it resolved that council does hereby acknowledge receipt of the correspondence information only package attached to the agenda of the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Number 9 is committee board updates. Committee and board meeting minutes. The Goma District Services and Thunder Bay Municipal League. Any questions or comments? 9192 council committee updates. Sorry.
Mover and seconder for 9.1. I'm sorry.
Can I?
Quiz later.
Yes. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Grego and Peter. Councilor Peter.
Be it resolved that council does hereby acknowledge receipt of the committee and board meeting minutes attached to the agenda of the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Number section 9.2 council committee updates. Councilor Stefanic.
Yeah, thank you, Deputy Mayor. We met on June 13th for the steering committee on immigration and employment. We also have another committee meeting for that coming up next week. We have a library board meeting coming up next week. We have CDAP coming up on February 9th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Belinda.
I don't have anything.
Nothing. Councilor Peter. Nothing. I don't have anything to add to that yet either. Mayor Ford, do you have anything to update us with?
Yeah, I can give you a quick update of Roma. So I have to say that Roma was really busy this year. I actually was asked to sit in on other delegations for other municipalities, and they all went very well. And we had huge support. I want to give a shout out to Manuela and the staff for getting extra supporters to come in and support our delegation. And that was for the Northern property tax, the new, very similar to the multi-res tax that's out there that we're trying to gain new legislation for. And I was hopeful with the delegation that we did on the Hallmark Center. So we've got it, the commitments reconfirmed that they will help us with demolition costs. We need to have an economic development plan for that area and to create jobs within that area. So Manuela and I chatted on the phone a few days ago and we're brainstorming a little bit. So I think there's some work that needs to be done there, and we need to have ownership of the property. And I want to thank Manuela for following up with our legal and moving that process forward. So overall, I would say that the entire conference was well attended. I have to thank Roma. They invited me as the Ontario Good Roads Association president to speak and address the whole assembly, which went over very well. It was a little nerve-wracking, I have to say, but overall it went really well. And I did want to let council know that as the president of Good Roads, I had the opportunity to present to the finance committee. They are doing finance committee roundtables. And as you know, we've supported the resolution of rural road safety. And so have 100 other municipalities or more, plus NOMA, FEOM, and ROMA, and asked the government for $207 million over 5 years. And it went very well, I have to say. I had never presented to a government committee before. And you have, just to let people know, if you don't know what that is, they're committee structures of both the opposition and the sitting government and the independent members. And there is about 10 people and the chair that you present to, plus the staff. And there was 2 other presenters as well. You're given 7 minutes to present. The other 2 presenters did really well as well. It was a dental association out of Thunder Bay. Really enjoyed their presentation, totally support what they're trying to do, and Lakehead University as well. So I just wanted to give the update. I think it was really interesting that a few of the ministers knew Hornepayne by the geographical center of the province. I think these finance committee meetings are recorded, because they were recording when you're presenting and answering the questions. But I just have to give a shout out, because that is to the staff, to council, that you're out there in the community, you're promoting, and to the staff, to the good work that has been done. Because people in the, they know our little town of 1,000 people, and they know us. Like, they knew that we were on the Canadian National Railway. They knew there was a lumber plant and a cogeneration plant. So I have to say, we got to keep believing that we can, that we have the capacity to grow. We are great, and we can be greater. So it was a really thoroughly enjoyable experience, and I'm hoping that we get the yes for the rural road safety. That would be a huge win for Good Roads. But that's my update. I have one more really substantial update, and I have to thank council, because council, you allowed this to happen for the Northern Ontario women across Northern Ontario back in March of 2024, I believe, when you passed the resolution to allow me to work with the Mayor of Timmins to start the Northern Ontario Women's Association, which has grown to about 70 members right now. And I'm proud to announce that we are incorporated. This isn't an official announcement, I'm just sharing with council, but there will be an official announcement coming soon. So what does that mean for Northern Ontario and Northern Ontario women? Is now we'll be able to apply for funding, go after sponsorships, and build a base to encourage more women and families. That's the basis of this, to come north and really try to minimize the disparities that women face living in Northern Ontario compared to the South. So very happy to announce those things to you, council, and thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No, thank you for your update. That was wonderful news. Okay, do we have no other further updates? Okay, if we can move on to number 10, new and other businesses, or other business. 10.1, Winterfest and Kids Sport request for washrooms for Casper and Jamie Community Fish Derby. Did somebody want to speak to that?
I can speak to this. So council had asked that we get some pricing on having some washrooms available for public use, because ours are not available for the winter. So I spoke with Villeneuve Construction. They can supply the washrooms. They're $75, I believe, for the weekend. It may be for the day, but I believe it was for the weekend per washroom, and transportation is about $300 to float them up here and float them back. So we would need to know if council would want to move forward with this, because Kids Sport is a couple weekends away. Or Winterfest is a couple weekends away, and this is one of the festivities that's taking place through Winterfest. So we can either support this and pay for this, or we can provide the information to Kidsport. And then they can follow up and go ahead. Sorry, that's the information. So I'm just looking for direction from council at this point.
Okay, thank you, Manuela. Go ahead.
I support 100%. I think they're doing a wonderful thing, not only for that group, but for people that fish, and it's an activity, it's socializing. I think for the minimum cost, I think we should support it 100%. Thank you.
I agree. Go ahead, Peter.
I'm with Councilman Stefanik. It's a completely volunteer organization giving to what I believe is we all believe is a good cause. And on a side note, the prizes that are collected by the individuals that are organizing this event are out of this world. So I think the least we could do is what they're asking.
I agree.
I agree.
Report, you.
Yeah, I totally agree. We had a lengthy discussion about this. Is the problem with the facilities that we have out at the park or at the Cedar Point Park aren't able to be used in the winter time, and it's unfortunate, but it creates a lot of difficulty. So I'm really happy with the pricing. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that, and it was going to be prohibitive. But I have to think that, you know what, this is a community event. All sorts of businesses are involved with this, and I want to see it thrive. And I have to agree with all of council's comments that, you know, people are really coming together in our community to do things for our community, and we need to support where we can. And this is one of the areas I think we should.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Do we need
perfect, thank
a resolution there to move forward? Okay,
I have a couple quick questions for the CAF.
okay.
Is the 75 and the 300, including or excluding HST?
Excluding?
Just for the wording of the motion.
Yep.
And a question for council, how many washrooms? 1, 2, they're $75 per.
Two.
I think
Yeah,
at least two.
transportation would be the same.
Yeah.
Two, you
transportation,
recommend
I'm
two?
happy to
Yeah.
do the same.
Is that enough or?
Oh, Mayor Fort has
Mr.
her
Chair, can I
hand.
make a comment, please?
Yes.
Could
Mayor
we
Ford,
make
go
the
ahead.
motion a little bit more general? Because I'm not sure with Villeneuve bringing them in as the 300, like if we take 4, are we still just paying 300? Like I would rather see it like no more than 1,000 or something like that. Like give a max limit, because it is quite a spread out event across the park, and they may utilize. And if it's 300 just to bring them here and $75 each, I'm not opposed to having 4.
I think they're on a trailer, and I don't know if they stay on the trailer because, I mean, everything is all enclosed, right? So to spread them out might be more difficult.
Well, they usually
Okay,
come
yeah,
with.
so-
Go ahead.
I don't know
Sorry.
much
Yes.
more.
Okay, so I would still say give Manuela a top, just so she's not handcuffed to a certain amount, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
and we can do that in the motion. I would just like to give a little bit more leeway.
Yes, I agree with that. Did you have a comment?
Yeah, 4, I agree with the mayor. I think 4 would be appropriate when you think about it. Especially with the larger attendance.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Okay, you got all that together there? Jen?
Almost one.
Yeah, there's usually quite an attendance there, right? Lots of many people.
Little people.
Little people, big people.
Young people, old people.
Young people, old people.
Old folk.
They usually come with a picker truck so they can place it on the ground, so they know what they're doing.
I definitely, so.
Yeah.
First time they were into the mill, okay?
No. Oh.
Okay, and what is council's maximum?
I'd put it at $1,000 as recommended by Mayor Ford.
Yeah.
Or suggested by Mayor Ford, I should say.
Okay, would you like to get a mover and a seconder, and then I can read it out, if council has any changes, we can make them.
Okay, can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Drago, second by Belinda.
Be it resolved, the council directs staff to contract Vilna for the provision of washrooms for the Casper and Jamie Community Fish Derby with a maximum cost of $1,000.
All in favor? Carried.
Mayor Fort, was that in favor, or did you have a comment?
Her hand was up.
In
I
favor.
just wanted to.
Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure no one had
Thanks.
comments, because I wasn't confident about that one.
Oh, that's okay. That's good to ask questions. Good to clarify it. Okay, we can move on to 10.2. 2026 comprehensive user fees. Would the CAO like to speak to it?
Sure, I'm not going to speak to it really in depth, but I will point out a few things. The left-hand most column are the numbers are the 2025 fees. It's just there for information purpose so that council can see the difference in fees from 25 to the proposed fees for 2026. Anything that's highlighted in green it's a new fee that we don't currently have that the staff is recommending we add to our schedule of fees. So for example, a tax extension agreement, there's quite a bit of work that it takes to accomplish this agreement. It has to come to council once the agreement is made. There's calculations that need to happen, so there's time. So I'm suggesting $100. There's a proposal and RFP tender packages, a fee for that. If you want somebody to bid on something, you want to know that they're serious about it, and they'll be willing to pay the fee to get that tender. Council does have a business licensing bylaw. It's bylaw number 215, way back, but it is there. It just hasn't been used in many years. That bylaw says the annual fee for a home business is $20. The annual fee for any other businesses is $50. There's transient trades in there and hawkers and peddlers licenses. So I put that back on the schedule of fees, and I'm not asking for anything to be passed today, but it's there for council to consider and think about in the next couple weeks, and to bring back to the February meeting to discuss then. So I'm just highlighting some of the reasons why I've put these things on here. Council minutes and agendas, there's a lot of work that goes into those and a lot of paper for people that want a copy of them. There should be a fee for that as well. Refunding of credits, also where there's an extra work that has to be done that's above and beyond what the normal day-to-day activities are, we've added a fee. For the airport, call-out fees for runway snow clearing. It takes a lot of time to go out and clear those runways, and many times the planes don't even land. They should still be responsible for what they've requested. So we've added a fee for that, as well as the fee for the operator of the equipment. Access to the airport terminal. So right now we have a keypad. I think Dwayne can better explain that, where we know exactly who's going into that terminal from which airline, not necessarily the person, but the airline. And they're using our terminal without a fee to warm up in the evening, to use the washrooms, and we have to clean it. We have to pay for that cleaning. We have to maintain the heat and the electricity. So there should be a fee. It's a small fee, $25 per use. So if the pilots are coming in, $25 for them to use our facilities, our Wi-Fi, etc. It's quite a small fee. So we've added that. Under the building fees, we've added quite a few fees. So these fees are existing under a bylaw. So under the zoning bylaw, they're already in existence. We're not changing the fees. We're just bringing everything into one and referring to the bylaw so that nothing gets missed. Staff goes to the user fees when they're going to bill for something. So if a fee is listed in another bylaw, it should also be listed here on that bylaw to be referred to, so that when we're looking up, when we're creating an invoice and looking up what needs to be charged, we have one document to go to and not 10 or 15 or 20 documents to try to figure out what to, so it's just making it, it's comprehensive, we're making it comprehensive. So in this case, there's no change to the amount of the fee from the original bylaw, but it's just bringing everything under one document. We've added for the landfill contaminated soil, because we're expecting those approvals to come through in 2026. So as little as $550 for a tandem dump truck to $750 for a triaxle trailer per load. So it's a significant amount of money that could happen there. We've talked about the possibility with things changing and happening and the hope for economic growth. We can see things like contractor bins showing up here, and we need to be able to deal with those as well. So we've added them as a what if. So we're prepared if they show up. And you go further down the document, we've added to the facilities advertising at the arena for wall signs and board signs. So give people the opportunity to advertise for a fee during our ice season. And the other things, we've added some miscellaneous, we've used, with Jennifer and I went through and we added to the cemetery. We've actually changed the cemetery totally. So almost everything is scratched off or strucken through, and there's a whole new section at the bottom. So just carefully review that. It's as per the Bereavement Authority best practices. And I think that Jennifer would like to comment there as well. So
Go ahead, Jennifer.
I just wanted to mention, so in my time, managing cemetery, I've talked to the BAO, the Bereavement Authority of Ontario, a few times. And in those discussions, they've mentioned our cemetery price list and that it is very odd, was the kind way that they put it, and made a lot of recommendations to change it. So we went along with their recommendations. Manuela and I did look through several municipalities, some that are southern that are small, but the four main ones that we were comparing to were First, Wawa, Manitowoc, and Marathon, to try to keep similar size. And we kind of stuck on the lower middle end of them. It is quite a change, but it's also, at this point right now, for example, we have one cemetery, one open and close fee for a grave. That is it. So if someone is interring an urn in a grave, it's the same fee as it is to inter a full-size casket. That's not common practice. There should be categories, there should be separate fees, and there should be more fees. There should be fees for after hours. For example, this has come up before where we've had public works staff have to cancel their vacation to come in on a holiday to do it. And there's no compensation for that. There's nothing that covers it. It's just a loss. So these are things that the BAO recommends having. They have like draft fees online. I've talked to them extensively over the phone and over email. And then Manuel and I went through and kind of went over it. But I do know that it is a huge change, and I'm sure council will have questions and comments about that. So we can definitely work with council.
Okay, well, thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Manuela, for
I think
clearing that up for us.
there's a couple more. So I've added the water and sewer is a separate bylaw as well, but I've also brought those fees into here. Again, because it is comprehensive user fee schedule. So they're also here. And fire services, we've in the past not had any fire services on our comprehensive user fee, and we now have highway callouts that are a significant amount, and we want to make sure that we have those. So at the minimum, we've added those in there to collect those fees on behalf of the fire department or for the fire department towards equipment. So again, this is an opportunity for council to review the changes, make notes, ask questions. Please email me, and I'll make sure that we have responses and comments for the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor Ford has heard.
Oh, Mayor Ford, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to know the process with our user fees. In the past, we've had to bring them to public consultation. Do we have to do that with this? Like, we figure it out at our end what we want to do and then we present it to the public?
This is presented to the public right now. This is a public meeting. They're presented. I'm welcoming mayor, council, the public, anyone who wants to comment on them, has questions, concerns, comments, please send me an email. I think everybody knows cao@hornepayne.ca.
Okay, so that period will be open till when then? Till the
February 9th.
February 9th. Okay, thank you for that, Manuela.
Thank you. I believe, Councillor Stefanik, you had a question?
Yeah, for you, I was gonna ask you, say the timeline. I think the timeline's a little too short. I think it should be extended. I mean, this is the first time that it was in the, agenda, but people did not focus on it. I think they should have a greater time, in my opinion.
So I'm not asking council to pass this on the February 11th meeting. I'm just asking for comments, concerns, questions. Definitely we can bring it to the February 18th budget meeting if that's the preference.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Oh, Mayor Ford.
No, Mayor Ford, go ahead, please.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. I put my hand down. I think I shut my mute button off. I was thinking that we might possibly want to give an open discussion period for the user fees at that 18th meeting to allow accessibility for everyone. They can either do that on camera, they pre-register to be able to speak to it, or they can come to they can come in person to council chambers, but if they can't for accessibility issues, they could request the link so that they could present over the video, if I said that correctly.
Good. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Any other questions at this time? All right, the resolution up, or do you want to go with this one?
This one, it's tonight, you guys are just receiving it for info.
Okay, now a mover and a seconder. Moved by Belinda, second by Peter. Be it resolved that council receives CAO report number 2026-03- Hornepayne 2026 comprehensive user fees as information. All in favor? Carried. So if we can move section 10.3, Third Avenue reconstruction year-end review. I'm gonna hand this over to the CAO again. Manuela, the floor is yours.
Just a quick review, council had asked for this report, so really it was Villeneuve year end. It was October because really that was the end of the construction for the year. Just where they got to, how far they've gone and what's left to do. So really there's not much here to say. It's North Rock's engineering report. If there's any questions from council, I would bring the questions back to North Rock and have them for you at the next, have responses at the next meeting.
Okay, any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, we can we have a mover and a seconder for the, moved by Drago, second by Peter. Be it resolved that council receives CAO report number 2026-04, Third Avenue construction year-end review as information. All in favor? Carried. Oh, sorry. Let's see. There you go. Section number 11, bylaws, 11.1. It was a new edition, I believe.
Yeah,
Bylaw
this one.
number.
Sorry, if I could just please speak to this one.
Yes. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Jennifer had alluded to it earlier. So I had applied earlier in the year for the pothole prevention program. We've been approved for 38,000, which our intention is to use it towards the purchase of the hot box, so that our repairs last longer. I believe we're waiting on quotes. My initial hope was to have a resolution passed tonight to go ahead with the purchase ahead of the budget, because this money has to be spent by March 31st. So, but I think we're still waiting on quotes. So I don't know if council can give us a resolution, allowing us, if it comes in under 70,000, to go ahead with the purchase. I believe we could do that. And if it's more than 70, that we bring it back for February 9th, 11th, I think.
Okay, thank you. Any comments on that one? Go ahead,
I
Greg.
concur with the CEO's recommendation.
I do as well.
You do? You do? Okay. Do you
I'll
want to
make amendment.
draft a new resolution?
I was happy to receive $38,000 towards this purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. How much, hey, Dwayne, how much, in a year do we spend on fixing potholes, give or take?
Just the asphalt patch?
Yes,
About 10,000.
but yeah. But the hot box will last several years and it's a cost savings, right, for us?
Makes the asphalt more pliable, it makes it better. To make better repairs for longer periods of time.
That's what we need, right?
Is council going with a max of 70,000?
That's, yes.
Excluding or including HST?
Excluding the plus HST. So the bylaws to enter into the transfer payment agreement for the ministry to transfer us the funds. The resolution is allowing us to move forward ahead of the budget with the purchase of the hot box in order to meet the requirements of the agreement.
Okay, thank you. Are we making out then?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm thinking we add on to the resolution to adopt the bylaw. So we have that be it resolved. We add be it further resolved that council authorizes staff to proceed with the purchase of a hot box to a maximum cost of $70,000 excluding HST. And be it finally resolved that should the price of the hot box be above 70,000 excluding HST, a report will be brought to council for approval at the February 11th regular meeting.
That's good with me. Council agree?
If I may, Mr. Chair?
Go
Just
ahead,
because
please.
we're relying on other organizations or companies to get their quotes in. Could we just have at a next regular meeting or at an upcoming meeting, because it could be brought into our budget meeting just to give the extra funds if they need it?
Manuela, is that something you're comfortable with? Because it has to be purchased by the
So
end of
it
March.
has to be purchased and paid for by the end of March. So I'm hoping to have it purchased before the February 11th meeting. I think,
Oh, yeah,
The
I'm not
public-
saying not to give you the 70,000. I'm saying that, but if you don't have your, okay, if you figure you're gonna have it by the 11th, I just didn't want to strap you down that, you had to bring a report to us on the 11th. if you
Dwayne,
didn't
do
have
you
quotes.
think that it will be under 70,000?
So I don't know yet. It should be, but the pricing has changed so much that it's the possibility it might be close.
Last year it was, I think, closer to 60, if I remember correctly.
And
For our alternate one, we go to, if we have to get price down lower. Do
Okay.
some beach.
okay,
Oh, yeah,
We'll keep
Mr.
it-
Chair, disregard my comment.
we're gonna keep it at 70,000 for now.
Yeah, if it's more
Right.
than 70, we'll bring it to council for approval.
Okay, Mayor, Peter, would you have a comment?
Yeah, it's just something we don't want to cheap out on it. If it's bells and whistles, I can see cutting back, but if it's something we need, I want to get the proper quotes. I believe just by riding up and down our lovely roads, it will help.
Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Dwayne.
We definitely want to recycle capabilities, that's one thing we do.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that,
Right.
Okay. You're good to go?
Yes, so if you want to get a mover and seconder, I can read them.
I have a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Peter, second by Brenda.
Be it resolved that bylaw number 218626 being a bylaw to enter into a pothole prevention and repair program, Ontario transfer payment agreement between the corporation of the Township of Hornepayne and His Majesty the King in right of Ontario as represented by the Minister of Transportation, be hereby read a first and second time and be considered read a third time and finally passed. Be it further resolved that council authorizes staff to proceed with the purchase of a hot box to a maximum cost of $70,000 excluding HST. Be it finally resolved that should the price of the hot box be above $70,000 excluding HST, a report will be brought to council for approval at the February 11th regular meeting.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay, number 12, motions and notices of motions. Sorry, no, notices?
Received any.
Haven't received any? No, okay. So number 13 is a closed session. So, oh yeah, 13.1, move into closed sessions. Be it resolved that the next portion of the meeting at 7:48 PM be closed to the public in order to discuss personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, a proposed or pending acquisition or deposition of land by the municipality, labor relations or employee negotiations, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privileges, including communications necessary for that purpose pursuant to sections 239, 2B, C, and D, and F of the Municipal Act 2001. 13, go ahead, Jen.
You need a mover and seconder.
No, can I have a mover and a seconder for that one? Moved by Glenda, second by Peter. All in
Okay.
favor? Carried.
And may I make a recommendation?
Yes,
For a question more, so, would council like a break before starting the closed session?
yes.
Okay, so would council like to take a break and start closed at 8 PM?
8:30.
I won't be here.
Okay, so Mayor Court, Manuela, you heard us, we're gonna be at 8.
Yes, am I
Good
there
luck
at
with it.
8 or is someone gonna text me?
I can text you.
Okay. Like, do you need me there when we start at 8? Am I supposed to be there? That's what I'm asking.
No,